What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today when I talk to you about Hologram, I want to go over some of the data points, break it down, what's been coming out from the company itself, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Hologram right now is down 0.46%, nothing crazy, 1 cent. But over the last several trading days, it's actually shown a lot of signs that it wants to move higher, and that's very abnormal of Hologram. But at the same time, it goes to show maybe the company's actually caring for once in this whole year. Maybe they started their New Year's resolution for 2025 is to be more transparent and more engaging. But $2.12 the low, $2.29 the high. And the reason why I say more engaging is because there was actually news that came out today. So I've been covering Hologram ever since it was got popular in February of 2024, had that nice run, but since then, they've been fairly quiet until recently. So you've seen more news in the last 2 weeks or even week and a bit than you pretty much have ever in its whole lifetime. So the news that did come out today, it's I think they're kind of going back to the overly complicated aspect, because I can't see a retail investor going through and reading all of this and making a sound decision. I think they need to really dumb it down. No offense to a lot of individuals, but a retail investor isn't going to take the time to go through this and actually understand it. And even right here, I kind of highlighted it right here. So some of the biggest breakthroughs and why hologram technology stands out, that should be right up top here. So it's still room for improvement. I don't want to be overly critical on them, because just the fact that they're putting out news, I think that is impressive, and it shows that they're trying to do something at least, because I've been covering Hologram for a while, and they have a lot of cash, as I've shared with you, but they definitely do need to do something fast, because dilution is going to completely decimate the stock price and people's equity if they don't start to generate some sort of revenue and bring it obviously to fruition. So them pivoting, I think, is good, but they can't be just putting out news to overly complicate things. They need to actually execute. They need to do the actual job and find some sort of revenue to bring forward. So let me know your viewpoint on their pivot, this recent news today, and everything else. Aside from that though, shorts are increasing 29,000 shares. 8.09% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 1.65 million shares. As I've shared with you, if there's dilution occurring behind the scenes, just we're not aware of it, that would directly affect this number right here, so that 8.09%. so just be kind of aware of that. But I think in general, with Hologram opening up options, the options chain, I think it's actually not that good. Because I know a lot of people got into Hologram because of it being a squeeze play and whatever else, but unfortunately, whenever there's options and shorts always hedge, and you can always tell which ones are hedging versus not. So as of right now, 6,000 in calls, 1,300 in puts, 72% of all the options being done today are optimistic in nature. So it is fair to assume retail is not doing that. Retail is not driving it higher. And even aside from that, just there isn't that much optimism or like attention being brought towards Hologram's options. Yesterday there was 80,000, 159,000 the day prior, and then 54,000. So rather low volume all in all. But if we look at this is the call options that are being purchased. Whenever you see a heavily shorted stock, always look at the closest strike price. So that does mean $3. And why, like I'm sure some of you might be wondering, like what does hedging even mean? If you buy a call option, let's say they buy a $3 call option, and Hologram for whatever reason is to squeeze, let's say $10, you would assume that there'd be a massive short squeeze. But that's not the case, because shorts actually are able to buy at that $3. So this is essentially hedging any damage. They would lose out from $2.16 to $3, but it's kind of a negative thing a little bit. So once again, do your own due diligence at the end of the day, but I think in general options might work out to be somewhat the demise of any optimism for a short squeeze. But as of right now, one transaction occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. It is a buy for $102,000. So I think all in all, Hologram, I'm still cautiously optimistic. I'm very open and transparent, so I really think that Hologram needs to do something fast. Them pivoting is very good, but at the same time, even based on what has been stated, quantum is still a far ways away. So Hologram, if that's kind of their next bet is quantum, then they might be sitting for a while unless they somehow are further advanced than others or whatever else. A lot of that, similarly, like I said, is overly complicated. Some of it is even well over my head. So I think they definitely do need to continue the good, positive news, but they need to at the same time dumb it down to their target audience and everything else. So yeah, I think Hologram, it's good to be cautiously optimistic. Just be prepared that without any news or any concrete numbers, it might continue to trend down. And it is, like I've stated in the past, like a ticking clock. They have all of these notes, short-term notes, very, very damaging, because all of this, the interest is going to be paid through issuance of shares. The lower the share price, the more shares are issued. So they have a lot of these prospectuses that have yet to even start being paid yet. So I think Hologram is a ticking clock. They definitely do need to get their crap together. If not, all of this is going to completely decimate the stock price. So yeah, again, cautiously optimistic. If there's momentum, you can definitely make money on it. But yeah, let me know your viewpoint on Hologram. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Do you believe in the company? Are you averaging down? Do you see more upside, or do you think it's going to trend down? Do you think this pivot was more strategic from the company itself, just to gain some hype and momentum, or do you think it's legitimate? So what's your viewpoint? And one final thing, pop over to my Patreon where I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolute bangers, so pop over there and take a look. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.